Hey guys, Mike Fadul here. If you don't know who I am, I run a marketing agency specialized in helping buyers agencies scale their businesses. And in this video, I wanted to share something which we had on one of our group coaching calls with all of our buyers agents the other day. And it was a really good call. I myself, I'm not even a buyer's agent, but I got a lot of value from that call. One of my very great friends, Harry Rizk from Elite Sales Coaching, came on and hosted the call. We have weekly group coaching calls with all of our buyer's agents where they come on, they share their experiences, what problems they're having, bottlenecks, and we get them fixed. So in our last weekly coaching call, we had a very great question come up. And the question was around the market right now, the uncertainty, the war going on, and what people are feeling. Like there is some uncertainty in the market. It's very clear as well. Now, Harry Rizk nailed it. There were a lot of really great points which were made. And I thought I'd just put it in here. I'll insert the clip just after I finish talking now. Yeah, I won't hold you up too long. I'll insert the clip now. It's very good because a lot of people right now are facing the challenge where they're not closing as many clients, or they're maybe not generating as many appointments, or their clients are giving them an objection and they don't know how to handle it. So if you just watch this video here, it will help you a lot. I hope you get some value out of it.
I feel like the biggest objection that I'm getting at the moment is about interest rate rising and people, I guess, just being uncertain with actually buying a property. So how would I kind of get around that or reframe it in a way that can kind of move them along the process a little bit?
That's a very, very good question. And I was thinking before I even jumped on today, I'm like, this needs to be a question today that everyone's asking, because right now we're going through economically, it's not even a property thing. People love to correlate it to property, right? But there's an economic issue.
Yeah.
And within our economy, the greatest issue we've got at the moment is what we call a lack of buyer confidence. Now, why is that such a big issue? That's a huge issue because consumption as a function of our economy makes up 80% of our economic activity. I beg your pardon, 60% of our economic activity. So the minute consumption changes and people aren't buying, our economy will collapse because of how great of a weight it is. Buyer confidence everywhere is very low. Why? Because the news media paint a narrative to people that they should stop spending and things are scary. That isn't necessarily the reality. That's the way it's framed. Now, I have an economics degree and I studied this in detail. Recessions are formed by using the word recession. So when you create fear around it, people stop spending. When they stop spending, that aggregate expenditure formula, that 60%, drops a bit, and our economy goes into what we call downturn. So that's starting to happen. It's probably already happened. And the data that we receive is usually 3 months delayed. That's why they call it seasonally adjusted. So we won't have real data for another 3 to 6 months anyway, right? By then it's already passed. Why is this important for you guys in buyer's agency? When's the best time to buy property? Does anyone want to have a go at that?
Yesterday.
Yeah,
as soon as you're ready. Yeah.
No right
again, Chris?
Right?
There's no right time.
No, you said something else. You said something really good.
As soon as you're ready, there's no right time, really.
As soon as you're ready. Now, why is that really important, Chris?
Well, if you don't act now, it could get even further out of reach. That's sort of the narrative I always try and talk about, because the market could become more out of reach for people as well. So if you're ready now, get in.
Bang on. So we're dealing with human beings. We've got an emotional side and we've got a logical side that we've got to really address. We've got two things to do in sales, is address both of these things. Now, if Chris has understood their emotional motivation to purchase a property, all Chris now needs to do is attack the logic and say, guys, if it's feasible and it makes sense and you have the means and everything is lined up and your heart is saying yes, why would you not do it? Let them try to come up with their own objections as to why they wouldn't do it. Because again, human beings will make a decision based on these two variables. No one goes and buys a car who doesn't have a driver's license. None of us, I presume in this call, have a helicopter, right? It's not that we can't afford it. I know Mikey can afford 4 of them, okay? It's not an affordability thing. It's illogical for us to buy a helicopter. We don't have a license. We have nowhere to park it, etc. So you go the logic and the emotion. And so with your clients, this is why needs analysis are so important, Max. This is why qualification is so important and understanding what their true desires are, because our job in buyer's agency is to facilitate that. Now, this is a very important economics thing that I don't feel we do enough of in general, just in general in the world or in sales. We need to encourage buyers to be buying when no one is buying. Why? Because in economics, they teach us this thing called scarcity. And the way you solve for scarcity is through this system they called equilibrium, which is where they do what they call supply and demand. And when supply and demand on a curve meet in the middle, that point in the middle, the X, is called equilibrium. Now, that's what we call a perfect market situation. If you're a buyer, you don't want a perfect market situation. What you want is a lot of supply and no other active buyers, because you are in an advantageous position. The opposite to that is when you have, let's say during COVID, 50 buyers turn up to an auction for one property. And what happens to the value of that property? It is inflated. Why? Because the demand for it far exceeds the supply. So right now, and I work with a lot of real estate agents, selling agents, there is a massive issue of oversupply that's either happening or about to happen. It's very, very, very clear. Why? The reason why this is happening is because for a very long time, probably 4 years, what year are we in, 2026? Probably 4 years, vendors who are in an advantageous position have done this thing and said, let's just wait. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. Why? They want to sell at the peak. Now, the peak's passed. So now they've realized the peak's passed. They're like, oh shit, now's the time. Let's get it on there. And they're dumping on the market. There's an excessive amount of stock that'll come through. If you're a buyer's agent, you should be grabbing your buyers right now and saying, hey, how good is your timing to be buying right now? Because these cycles only come through every 5 to 7 years. Right? We should be encouraging them to take action during this climate right now. And again, use economic data, use statistics, use forecasting, use all these different things to influence their logic. And then you can show them the emotion when you actually take them out to an open home and go, hey, look, there's no one here. When you take them to an auction and go, hey, look, there's no one here. When you open up the REA page and go, how good is this? There are 5 on the market at the moment. Let's really roll up our sleeves and pull the negotiation levers. So I think no buyer's agent right now should struggle with what's happening with the economic climate. They should be encouraging that the clients actually take action. And that doesn't mean we have to increase their pace on this. They don't have to act now. We can control the narrative. We can say to them, guys, listen, you can buy now, you can buy in 4 weeks. But what's right for you, which is what Chris said. If I take you through an open home right now and you walk through and you go, oh my God, perfect facade, perfect location, perfect street, perfect pool, this is my dream home. And you go, great. What an opportunity that you found your dream home in this market. Let's go get it wrapped up. I don't want to show you another home. There's no point. You've just ticked every single box. This is what we call fate. Let's do it. And encourage them to do that. What we shouldn't be doing is getting them in front of that opportunity and then going, oh, let's slow down a bit and see what else pops up. We should not be doing that because, again, it ticks their boxes. And so I think that's a really, really important sentiment that we've got to be transferring into them.
Hey, you're making me want to go buy a house now. An amazing pitch.
What do you mean? I thought you bought 6. It really, honestly...
Genuinely, when you were saying that, I was like, but you added scarcity in like my heart. I was like, shit, I want to buy a property now.
Well, Mikey, look, I presume the majority of us in this forum have experienced a lot with property, and we should be, as we say, skin in the game, sharing our experiences or sharing our clients' experiences. Yeah, I bought I was a Department of Housing. My parents were refugees. I bought my first investment property at university when I was 19 years old, and it was a rundown apartment in Lakemba. It was an absolute shithole in a shithole area. Okay? It changed my life. Every person said to me, do not buy it. Do you know why they said that? Because at the time I bought it, there were mass repossessions. The average interest rate on a home loan was about 9 to 10%. and there was an abundance of stock. And everyone said, Harry, don't buy, no one's buying. And so I bought. And this is Warren Buffett takes a lot of credit for this statement. He always says the same thing. I went and bought. It changed my life because eventually when everyone did rush in to buy, I had just made 200 grand, which back then for a uni student's a lot of money. And I redrew that equity and bought the next place when no one else was buying. And guess what happened next? And then guess what happens next? Right now, when people are buying right now, they shouldn't be high-fiving. They should be buying and going, oh shit, did we make a mistake? They should feel that. But in 2 years' time, they'll be like, oh, thank God we did that. Whew. And that's got to be, we've got to educate our clients around that because right now the sentiment is fear. It's scary to buy now, but we've got to educate them on why. We've got to go against the grain of that feeling, using historical data and saying, if you don't do it now, you will regret it so badly it's not funny, based on 100 years of data. Based on what our economy forecast is for this nation, around what our population growth is going to be, our migration growth, our infrastructure plans around rail and around transforming our nation, property prices will go up based on those variables. You will kick yourself later down the track when it's just boom after boom after boom. And so that's our duty of care in Buyers Agency, to educate them around making these decisions now versus at a different time. So
yeah. And if I'm setting for these buyers agencies and someone says that to me, says, oh, Max, I'm just not too sure at the moment with interest rates, how can I kind of package that up, I guess, into like a, I don't know, 1 or 2 question rebuttal?
who are you working with? Chris, did you say?
Yeah, pilot buyers agent.
Yeah. So you say, sorry, your question was, if their rebuttal is about, we're unsure about interest rates, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Guys, no problem. It actually makes perfect sense for you to be saying this to me. You're probably the 5th person that said the same thing to me today. It's a very common concern. So when it comes to like objections or rebuttals, the very first rule around that is always acknowledge it, always agree with them. And I know that sounds crazy because we may not agree, but you've got to do that to diffuse them. And you go, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on a meeting with Chris. Now, Chris is an expert at a range of different things. And what he's going to do is actually run you through multiple scenarios across all your concerns. Now, at the end of that meeting, if you don't feel like any of those concerns have been validated, hang up and leave. Because you'd be stupid to act on something that hasn't been answered.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not asking you to commit to anything today. All I'm asking is that you turn up, have a meeting with Chris, and let him go through the due diligence process in detail for you to be able to make a proper and informed decision. Right? Could you give us 15 minutes of your time to do that? Oh, yeah, Max, of course I can. Fantastic. Just come with an open mind. Write down all your concerns because they're all valid. Write them all down, and Chris will answer them in depth. And if you don't feel the depth he goes through is enough, don't ever come back. Block our details. Block our number. And they go, yeah, all right, cool. That makes a lot of sense. And the reason I'm telling you this, Max, is because I don't want you to own those concerns. That's Chris's job.
Yeah.
In this specific scenario, Chris is the subject matter expert. He'll know how to handle those things. The guy's an expert at it.
Yeah,
and so I want you to be able to just facilitate their concern around that and go, hey, we're going to address it. Don't worry. We're not going to hide anything. Whereas if you try and fight their concern, they'll be like, look at this guy's trying to spin it on me. He's selling to me. I don't want a bar of it. And that's where salespeople do it wrong. They try to force. You should never push. Sales is about pulling. It's about bringing them into a solution. And remember, they do have a problem. That's why they've come to you.
Yeah.
Hope you found some value in that clip. Now, if you are looking to scale your buyer's agency, there is going to be a link below. Full transparency, it is a sales funnel. There is going to be a video sales letter on there, which is attempted to try and sell you. If you are looking to scale your buyer's agency, click that link below. If not, that's all good. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. And we are going to be posting a lot more videos like this, sharing value towards specifically buyer's agents in order to help you grow and scale and just give as much value as we can to all of you guys. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed.